spirits come to mingle with the living. And so it's good to see the fire and all of you here at sunrise. To in your own way give thanks. If you see an Indian today, thank an Indian. For the very land you're standing on. Even though we gave those millions of acres of land, we never benefited from the resources from that land. And so today we have to fight for everything we get. And it's not without sacrifice. I myself have lost 3 brothers, all of whom were in the movement. I lost my mother. She went on longest walk with Dennis Banks and ourselves. My father was here in 1974 in Alcatraz for a one-day occupation. His name was Hank Beans. And so I remember my family, those that went before me, because I'm the only brother left out of 4. So sometimes it gets a little lonesome, especially at sunrise, when we used to dance together at the beautiful sacred Sundance of the Lakota. And those of you that understand, you know that this is a very special time, the beginning of the dance. And so we appreciate all the dancers that came from Homo and other places, beautiful dancing and singing. But I want to say a little bit of word of my brother Dennis Banks. We traveled a lot of roads together. And he was probably one of the most fearless Indian men of this era. He and my brother, they had an FBI bulletin that went across the country that said when Russell Means and Dennis Banks get together, there's going to be violence. Man, that sounded good to me when I was young. So I became part of this great movement because we had to do some confrontation against the very institutions that control our lives. And Dennis was a master at organizing those things. He figured out and he told the American Indian movement that the 3 greatest enemies of Indian people are education, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and the churches. Whoa! This is the way he organized to confront those 3 institutions everywhere, every day, for the rest of his life. And that great spirit was the spirit that moved throughout the movement. As Philip Deere said, one of our great leaders, also he said, with the American Indian movement, the sleeping red giant of the Western Hemisphere has gotten off his knees. He's standing up for the people of this land. Where south of the U.S.-Mexico border, there's over 100 million Indian people. Whoa! So we don't stand alone in the prisons like Alcatraz. Some of the first inmates at Alcatraz were Hopi elders who refused to convert to Christianity. Whoa! And so they brought him here to teach him a lesson. But the only thing he taught him was the brutality, the ignorance, and the human rights violations against our people. And so, as Dennis identified the greatest enemies of Indian people, he felt it was up to us. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next Thanksgiving, but right now we start today, he said. To change America. To make them understand that John Wayne didn't kill us all. We're still here. We still resist. And we still have our culture and our language. Our beautiful language, like we say, Haniwashte. That means good morning. I hope. When you say that to another person, it seems to have a little bit more meaning than good morning. So, Haniwashte, Oyate, my people. And I want to thank all of you again for coming. Dennis, he was a special warrior in the sense that he challenged every institution with not only the challenge, but also the solution. He said one of our greatest initiatives will be to abolish the Bureau of Indian Affairs. He said we should have a presidential treaty commission to document the treaties and what they mean in the face of U.S. law. We have a right as nations, because treaties are not signed between movements, between organizations, they're signed nation to nation. And so we have a rightful place to interpret our own interpretation of the treaty rights of our people. And so when we look down south to those 80 million Indian people, we feel like we finally come home with our relatives throughout the hemisphere. You know, when they built the Statue of Liberty, when it came as a present from France, they didn't say that we could only have a quota. Or they didn't put a wall around the Statue of Liberty. It says, give me your tired, your hungry, your huddled masses. They got that welcome from the American Indian. And so when our relatives wanted to come to America from Central South America, they built a wall. But yet they're still our relatives. They can't stop the power of the wind. They can't stop the power of the fire. They can't stop our people coming together as 80 million strong anymore. Because now we have the communication. We have the sharing of our ceremonial ways. And so with that, I'd like to ask each and every one of you to remember with us, not only Dennis Banks, but those brave warriors who came here in 1969, who lit the fire again of Indian resistance, and it spread across this hemisphere. We say to our Spanish brothers, in the name of one of our great singers, his name was Floyd Westerman. He said, La tierra es tu madre. Somos millones. Muchas gracias. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.